KOF is here again, and we've been getting weekly trailers. This week's trailer was for Kyo, and with Kyo being one of my favorite KOF characters, I just thought it'd be necessary to break down his trailer and give you all the details. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Kyo Kusanagi. 燃えねえ戦いはごめんだぜ。
First things first, let's talk about Kyo's new design, or lack thereof. In KOF 14, Kyo had a very generic look in my opinion that didn't really meet the standards of his previous designs. KOF 15 goes back to basics, combining aspects of his Ash Saga design with a touch of his classic design in the headband. It's not exactly what we've had before, but it's not radically different. I think it suits him rather nicely. In the Benimaru portion of the video, we get to see some of Kyo's normals. Far C, Crouching C, Far D, and his back throw are all the same as they were in previous games. The section closes out with some supers. First, we see the level 1 version of 182 Shiki. Then, we get to see Kyo's trademark super, the Orochinagi. At the end here, we even get a taunt, for good measure. The video then transitions to Kyo doing the level 2 version of 182 Shiki on poor Shune. Kyo proceeds to then anti-air Shune out of his air command dash. Here we get to see a pretty standard Kyo combo. Close C, EX red kick, the B version of up kicks, and then it finishes with the running throw. The only interesting thing he does is a EX red kick outside of max mode, which was not possible in KOF 14. Finally, we get to the Kyo vs Yori part, and right off the bat, we can see that the C Rekka still has its guard point. If you don't know what a guard point is, basically during certain normals or special moves in KOF, they can have a property called guard point, which basically automatically blocks for you while the move is happening. You can use this to do some pretty interesting stuff, but I won't get into it right now. I think it's pretty cool that it's back though. Next, we see another combo starting with his air command normal jump 2C into crouching C into EX Rekka. Again, EX moves outside of max mode are back, although I gotta call out whoever was playing this because they missed the DP ender on the Rekka. You gotta mash harder, bro. Speaking of mashing, this is Kyo's EX DP in all of its glory. The next part is the most interesting part of the trailer, so I'm gonna have to break it down slowly. If we pause right at the beginning, you can see that Kyo is glowing blue. If yellow is EX, then I'm just going to take an educated guess and say blue equals max mode. Kyo then does close C into C Rekka, and then cancels that into level 1 Orochinagi. This is interesting because in the King of Fighters 14, when in max mode, all supers would automatically be their level 2 versions free of charge. So it seems like this is no longer the case. Orochinagi is then cancelled into the level 2 version of 182 Shiki, which is then cancelled into his new Climax super. This could mean a couple of things. Maybe you get a free super in max mode. Maybe Climaxes don't cost 3 bars. They could be related to another meter like in KOF 13, or maybe your health has to be in red like KOF 2002 UM. But the most likely answer is You probably have more than 5 bars in this game, which would make sense. If EX moves are coming back, I could see them giving the player more meter to play around with. Anyway, Kyo's new Climax Super starts with his Fireball, and looking at the animation here, it hits pretty low. It's making me wonder, will this move be able to hit off the ground? That would be pretty insane. Kyo then gives Yori the business and sends him flying into a giant flame pillar with his family crest behind him. Kyo's new level 3 is a massive improvement over his KOF14 version. I mean, just compare the two side by side and tell me which one you like better. It just looks so much more visceral with the punches, and the end with the flames reminds me of his old Final Showdown Super.
Shatter all expectations.
Overall, Kyo looks almost identical to his 14 counterpart moveset-wise, but having access to EX moves outside of max mode again is going to make things a lot more fun, especially if his EX running grab is still a command grab. I do wish he had the Final Showdown Super instead of 182 Shiki. That's just my personal preference. I think it looks cooler. His design is familiar, but different. He looks like Kyo again. Thank goodness for that, because I have no idea what they were going for in KOF 14. Also, I plan to do more character breakdowns in the future, since I'm very excited for KOF 15. If you'd like to see this become a weekly thing, please tell me, because I'd be willing to do it, but as of right now, I'm probably just going to do the characters that I like. These trailers, though, they aren't really doing that much for me. Like, yeah, whoa, cool, combos, but when are we going to get to see the UI? Info on the gameplay mechanics? God forbid we hear about the netcode. SNK is showing me things I like, but outside of Benimaru being on the China team, my expectations have not been shattered. SNK, you gotta give me something here. But what do you think about this week's trailer? And who do you think next week's trailer is going to be? Me? I think I'm going to place my bets on Chizuru. I just got a hunch. Until next time, have a good day, play KOF, and goodbye.